welcome to our video series for A Link Between Worlds. This is part 1.
Yeah.
And we're pretty excited to get started on this game.
It's definitely part 1. It's the beginning of the game.
And like so many Zelda games, it starts with us having a nightmare. I feel like that happens a lot.
Yeah, it just happened in Skyward Sword, I believe.
And Ocarina of Time as well had it.
Was it a nightmare in Ocarina of Time?
Yeah, because he had the vision of Ganondorf, or Ganon.
Oh, yes, you are correct. But
anyway.
First of all, just like very excited. Like when this game first came out, like a year and a half ago, I mean, we've been talking about doing it ever since then.
Absolutely.
We just didn't know, like, one, the expenses that went into it, two, how to even make these productions. So, I mean, it's been a long time coming, and we both love this game.
Absolutely.
So.
It took us a long time to make the plunge and get a 3DS capture card, to put this together.
It was definitely worth it. But here we go again with Link also sleeping in, like almost every single Zelda game, it seems like.
You would think the Triforce would choose a less lazy hero.
Like, I don't understand, like, he gets up and then he never sleeps again. Actually, in Skyward Sword, he does go to sleep, but, like...
Yeah, that's about it.
He sleeps... I mean, it makes sense if you think about it. Like, he's sleeping in right now, but he's not going to sleep for another, depending on how good you play the game, 20-something, 20 to 30 hours, so...
I guess he kind of sleeps when he gets knocked out here in a little bit.
That is true. When's he get knocked out?
Oh, well, the first time.
Oh, about you,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, with Ocarina of Time, he slept for 7 years, so maybe he's making up for that lost time.
That is true. That is true. But like, here's one thing. Like, this game starts off very different than from Link to the Past.
Yeah, and obviously, Link to the Past was its inspiration, of course.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's a sequel to that game.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But like, first of all, I kind of go off subject a little bit, but right here, like this early morning mist, I absolutely love that part.
It's a nice touch.
That's the only time that we see it in the game.
It is, and like getting back what you said about how it starts differently from A Link to the Past. A Link to the Past started out so much darker. Like you woke up in the middle of a thunderstorm.
Love that. I love that storm though.
Yeah, and your uncle's like walking out with a sword and shield, like ready to go fight. And this one, it seems like everything's
it's more lighthearted. Like whereas Link to the Past is very dark when the game starts.
And I would say the general tone of this game is a little more lighthearted. As you hear more and more of the story, it gets a little dark, of course. But
when we get to Lowrol later on, I mean, basically the whole game gets dark. But I mean, I don't know, man. I guess they're trying to appeal definitely with the 3DS, like more to like kids and stuff like that.
Age.
So I kind of understand that a little bit.
Definitely.
Although there still are a ton of adults that play this game. So.
Yep. And I will just say I loved being back in the Link to the Past world. Though.
Oh, I do.
Like, you look at the map down there at the bottom right. It's almost identical.
And that's one thing I actually really want. Like, I know some people want a different map.
Yeah.
Like, not an entirely different map, but just some little quirks. And we do get those a little bit, but I actually did like how it's very similar because it felt like a sequel to the original map.
It does. And I feel like no other Zelda game like that returns you to the exact same world.
Yes,
So I thought it was really neat for this to be a sequel to do that.
You know, I liked it because for once I actually knew where to go at the beginning of the game. Like the hardest thing about a Zelda game is learning the map.
Yep.
And where things are. So it was just nice coming into this game, already knowing the map.
There's that familiarity for those of us who have played A Link to the Past.
A
ton. I know there's some people out there who haven't even played it at all.
Yeah.
I recommend you go and check it out, by the way.
Yeah, for Red and Us, that's the game that got us into Zelda. So
exactly.
You have it as your favorite Zelda game still to this day, and I have it at number 2. So we still rank Link to the Past so high. So when I first
heard in this world,
when I first heard about this remake, I mean, I was just pumped.
Oh,
and the game delivers. The game absolutely delivers. This is my favorite handheld.
And obviously, these first couple videos are going to be a little slower because it's just setting up
a lot of cinematics and stuff.
Yeah, it's just setting up what's happening. Link, this introduction actually reminds me a little bit of Minish Cap, though, because wasn't Link apprentice to the blacksmith in Minish Cap as well?
Did you say princess to the... Apprentice. Yeah, he was.
I think so.
Yeah, he actually was.
Yeah, so I like that they kind of continue that theme of Link being...
Although that's somewhere totally different in timeline.
Exactly.
But, that's a different conversation for a different day.
Yeah.
Now, we are, you see the title, it's kind of like, well, actually, I don't know what the title's going to be. But really what this is, it's like a hybrid. It's a Let's Play. It's also I already beat this game 3 times before doing this, so we will also begin all the items. So it kind of functions more as a Let's Play. We kind of commentate it more as a Let's Play.
Yeah.
But we will also begin all the items in the game. So
it's a Let's Through.
Yeah, Let's Through. That's what we should start calling it. But right now we're calling it a Let's Play, but it will function also as a 100% walkthrough.
We are going to get all of the pieces of heart, the items, of course, the upgrades, and the Miamis.
I think they're called called mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. There you
I'm
go.
not exactly sure on pronunciation, but I think they're called mayonnaise.
But we'll get to those. It's a while.
We probably should look into that, but like I said, we mispronounce names all the time.
When do we ever
We're not
look into
perfect
these
people. We're sorry. We apologize.
Now, I got a big laugh. Like, we just walked by. There was a guard there, like, scrubbing the side of the castle wall. And that actually, just seeing a guard out there with, like, a broom, like, scrubbing the wall. And for some reason, it's really
But he has no
laugh.
soap bucket.
I know.
Like, that's why the paint's not coming off, because he's just scrubbing with a brush and, like, no, like, water or soap on it.
Yeah. And that...
I don't know if soap's readily available in Hyrule at this time period.
I hope so. Otherwise, all these guys are going to smell. But
yeah, well, that's how it was in the old days, man.
And I bet they smelled it.
I mean, not that I was alive or anything like that, but I'm just guessing.
That's probably a good guess. But it is very important, though, when they mention, like, that there's been this graffiti on the walls of the castle. The guard there told us
Paintings.
that. Yeah, paintings. And that's going to be if you haven't played this game, I mean, that's obviously a huge recurring theme throughout the game.
And I really liked how they used it. I remember when I was seeing like the trailers for it, I was like, I don't know how that paint thing is going to like come into play. I don't know how they're going to use that.
I thought it was well done.
And I think they just used it beautifully.
And that's one thing, like, you'll hear us mention A Link to the Past a lot in this game, of course, because it's the sequel and the mechanics are the same. But they tweaked things and added just enough to, like, really make this stand out to where it doesn't feel just like a remake, like something like, you know, the Ocarina of Time and the Majora's Mask are more straight up remakes. Whereas this does enough and changes the story and changes some of the mechanics that it definitely is a sequel and not a remake.
Speaking of mechanics, you know one thing I love about this game is just how you fight. Like, just how you swing your sword. Like, it was just fun, like, to kill enemies in this game. And I don't know why, it just... Like, his emotion of swinging his sword, I know it sounds kind of stupid, but no, it was awesome, I thought.
Well, there's a lot of just graphical things. If you've watched our Minish Cap series, you'll hear us call out a lot of little things that we liked. I guess that was the Game Boy Advance at the time was capable of. Yes. But now, jumping all the way to the 3DS, oh my gosh, what they're able to pull off visually with the look is just really great.
And it's really, like, unbelievable for a handheld to have this much, you know, graphical capability, in my opinion.
It is.
It's like... You know, it's such a little space that you're trying to fit the technology into, but let's get off the stupid 3DS and actually talk about the game now. And one thing, like, I know we kind of talked like how it didn't start like Link to the Past. I kind of do like how we kind of do something different. Instead of going to the Hyrule Castle and going down a passageway, we're starting off by going to the Sanctuary. I kind of just like, you know, how it didn't follow the same storyline as Link to the Past.
I did get a laugh out of Dampé here. Dampé, he's just like, nope, I'm too old for this. It's yeah. He's like, it's one thing to mess with the graveyard, but mess around under it?
Definitely.
Like, he's such a coward.
They showed, like, that grave. I mean, that's obvious which grave it was, though, you know, so, but...
You could push a bunch of them if you want to. There might be some rupees under there, but probably not much.
You know, like, very similar Link to the Past, though, we're going through a passageway, like, kind of start off the game, though, so...
Same music and everything, too.
Yeah, I think, well, a lot of Zelda games have the same music.
Very true.
It's actually almost identical to Link to the Past music. Now, here's what I don't understand is, how is there a light shining on that treasure chest right there and nothing else?
I have no idea. The only thing I could think of is that maybe that's where you push the grave out of the way, but if that was the case, you'd have fallen
that's actually a good point, but depending on where the sun's at, not to get in physics or science or whatever it's called, but where the sun's at, it could shine in a different way, so at least it makes sense now, or we're making sense of it, I guess.
But I guess since we don't have the lamp, we need something to light it up.
Definitely, true. And like you'll see, like here in the early parts, like you'll see me trying to get like a lot of rupees back in like pots, bushes, enemies or whatever. Just like we'll begin to bottle here. I don't know, one of the next parts, and so just like very early on, we need a lot of rupees, and that we just got to get. So
and rupees, to be honest, are a little more important in this game than in a lot of Zelda games. You've probably heard us talk before about how, especially a game like Twilight Princess or something like that, you used to have a ton of rupees and you don't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
This game, we will be spending thousands of rupees.
And there was no max, thank God.
Yes,
one of the things I love so much about this game. But like, we'll be buying item weapons later on. We gotta buy a stupid bottle that's 3,000 rupees. Oh my gosh, that's a ripoff right there.
Yes, it is. It is.
Now, that one for 100 and then one for 3,000. Are you kidding me?
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't.
I kind of liked how they put a little bit of a twist in this room by putting a pose in there. I'm not used to encountering pose. I mean,
it's early in the game, really.
Yeah, I guess if we would have pushed a couple of grave tombstones around, maybe we would have popped one or two out. But yeah, I just thought it was better than just fighting the rats.
Yeah, true. Like,
but now that we've got this door open, though, this will wrap up part 1 of A Link Between Worlds.